Hello, welcome to another Biker's Travelog. So today we're going to be getting out into the forest roads, forest tracks, heading out from, you can see all around me in the forest areas here, getting on to some A roads and some B roads as well, but then heading out towards a spot in the UK which used to be a big airfield, which is lots of nuclear bombs and flights took off from there in the 60s and 70s. Greenham Common, lots of protests, CND protests there in the past. They've made it into a big recreation park now, took up the runway and all that kind of stuff. But I'm not sure if you actually ride around it, so basically I'm going to go and check it out. I've never actually been there myself, so we're going to go and check it out and see what it's like. If not, then just get off the bike and have a quick walk around and show what it's like. So I'll put up a couple of photos of OS maps and also aerial footage as well, aerial photos as well, so you can see what it's like today. Okay, catch you on the other side. Okay, right, let's go. Okay, let's head on out then. So we're going to head out and through a few forest tracks, a few forest roads, just coming out of this little bit here, and then we're going to find some others. So the first little bit on this trek towards Greenham Common, which we're going to ultimately end up at, there are some forest tracks that I'm pretty sure that you can actually get through with the bike, but I'm not 100% sure. But there are some lovely little country lanes through the forest here anyway, so it's quite through. So I'll just catch you on the other side, just going through a little village here, and shouldn't be too far away. Okay, so back with it. Just quickly went through the village there, so now back onto the forest tracks, forest roads again, and so shortly there should be a little cutting into the forest itself. Now, as I say, I've not been here in a long time, so I don't know if they've closed them off or not for public access. And a lot of this area around here is all what they call common land. So there's a bit of a misconception, I think. Common land, you think, oh, well, anybody can go on it. But sometimes that is the case, and sometimes that isn't. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you can go on by vehicles, motorised vehicles. So, it really depends where it is. It depends if there's who owns it, what they allow, if there's a byway running through it, that kind of thing. So it's not always the case. But anyway, we'll give it a go here and see what it's like. Okay, so here's a track here coming up very soon. Let's have a look, and I think this might even be shut off here. Yeah, I've got a feeling it is. Or is it? There we go. Let's have a look. Just there we go. So they basically fence off the road, and yeah, so there's a sign on that one saying no cycling or motorcycling. Oh bollock! What a shame! What a shame. Okay, so back with you. So what we're going to do, we're going to go through a few forest roads. I've just had to check out a few of these tracks through the forest, and I haven't been in a while, and they've actually closed these off, and they've put prohibited signs for cyclists and motorcyclists. Some cyclists I'm really surprised at, and I thought, what's the problem there? But motorcyclists definitely. So can't get through there. I'm not going to trespass. So that's the way it is. Now again, this comes back to this common land debate. What is common land? Can you go on there? Obviously, common land, it's a bit of a misnomer really, because somebody always owns it, somebody always has the rights over it. So they might allow you to walk along certain stretches, but they're not going to allow you to just roam free as you might want to. So there you go. Anyway, shame, real shame. Right, okay, so we're just carrying on this road then. So what I did, I've actually picked out a really cool route to get down to Greenham Common, where it used to be the old airfield, US Air Base as well, and they, you know, did lots of their nuclear flights from there. Lots of C&D protests back in the day. So lots of footage from the 80s and 70s and 80s, people chaining themselves to fences, that kind of stuff. Now it still goes on to this day, I suppose. You know, people want to protest, but that's all by the by. It's all, you know, it's all within their rights, of course. And then years ago it was decommissioned. Now a lot of the old silos are still there, a lot of the old hangars or weapons hangars or whatever you want to call them are still there. And actually, yeah, so what they've done, they've turned it into a bit of a film set. So they actually filmed certain portions of Star Wars there as well, which is really interesting. Right, okay, so I'm just going to go through a few sort of village sites here and stuff, and I'll catch you on the other side. Okay, so back with you. Yeah, so I had to divert a little bit. All the forest tracks and all the route that I was going to take, it's all been closed off to motorbikes and things like that, which I thought it was always open, as they have public tracks. Obviously it's been 2 or 3 years since I've been down here, so they've obviously changed their minds in the meantime. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take this nice ride out towards Greenham Common now, on the back lanes, and see what we come across. So there isn't a lot of note in between here and Greenham Common. So basically I've just ridden over from Reading area and through Berkshire Common area, and that's where all the forestry is, and that's where all the forest tracks are. But it's great for a walk if you like your walking, and if you're into that kind of thing. That'd be really good to go and have a look. Right, so I need to go right. There we go. Just consulting my mapping here. So, you know, getting out of the countryside, you know, it's always a good thing anyway, isn't it? Yeah, you can never go wrong with that. Okay, I'll go left here. Yeah, I think so. There we go, just keep on going, that's it. Now, actually, I'm just about 100 yards away from an old Roman road, and on the Ordnance Survey mapping it actually shows it's like a Roman road with the course of, so it doesn't actually exist anymore, but that's where they reckon it was before. And there is one particular route which I've done in the winter, which is called the Devil's Highway, and it actually goes to an old, the ruins of an old Roman town as well, or really it's the outer wall of a Roman town and Iron Age town as well. So that's pretty cool. So maybe I'll just show you that one day. This part of the world, all the way, you know, because it's a Roman road, there are lots of forts and settlements all the way along it as well, and so, you know, it's good for a ride out, you know, to go and see something different instead of just going to, you know, your standard biker cafe or whatever, or just down the beach. They're all cool, but if you want to go out and do something different, or go and see something different with your bikes one day, with your friends or your partner, you know, especially on a nice day, then, you know, great. Right, on we go. So I've never actually been here before, so I'm kind of following my nose a little bit. I've always got the mapping, but sometimes the mapping isn't as accurate as you'd want it to be. There we go. And I do love coming on these country lanes, these back lanes, but you know, you've always got to, as I say on all my videos really, you've always got to have your wits about you, because you know, either debris on the road, you know, grit, gravel, you know, twigs, leaves, whatever. Different times of the year you face different conditions, you know, potholes, flooded areas, or you know, cars or vans or lorries, whatever, coming in the opposite direction right in the middle of the road. So you know, always got to be ultra careful here. Right, so where are we heading towards here? Okay, just a little village or hamlet here. Just saw a sign, residents against gravel excavation. Yeah, I'd say residents against gravel dumping on the road as well, because there's loads of it here. Are you having a laugh today? Unbelievable. What? What road? Oh, okay, that road down that way. Don't need that road anyway, so not a problem to me. Okay. It's very nice around here, isn't it? Okay, so just heading out there. Yeah, I can see on my mapping there's a few gravel pits around here. I can imagine all the gravel lorries, the sand lorries rumbling down this road, peeing off the neighbours. So let's see what we got here. So it's a motor camping van, right? Okay. Everywhere I go, it's, you know, all these tracks that used to be open years ago, they must have really clamped down on them, because the problem is, dare I say it, you get people who you know, on bikes, whatever, but they, how can I say, do they abuse it? I'm not sure if they abuse it, but they hoon around and you know, really digging up stuff and annoying people, and that's what tends to piss people off, and that's why tracks get shut down. You know, it's the one, they just want to stop motorised vehicles going down there, but also they just want, you know, they want to stop the, you know, the hooligans, as it were, getting around there as well, which, you know, ruins it for everybody really. But anyway, that's enough of that. Oh, that's a different one. It's a private drive. Go here as well. Where that is. There we go. Right. So we are right on the edge of Greenham Common here. So basically, if I look to my left, which you can't see on the camera, that is the end of the runway. So there we go. Yeah. So a few zigzags there around here, bit of a hairpin coming up as well, I think, or it's a junction, one of the two. So it's not difficult to find, and obviously this is nothing new for the people who live in this area, but obviously if you're visiting the area from wherever you are, then it's you know, just not a, you know, you want to do something for a couple of hours, then it's not bad. So I'm going to go around here. Just as well, is the road's closed at the level crossing, because I'm not going there. Okay, so this is all good. So basically, I'm just going to follow the road around now, see if we can find the entrances there to the old airfield, and see whether they've converted this control tower, and then we'll have a little chat as well, have a little walk around. I've got a feeling, in all honesty, that I don't think I'm going to be able to ride it. I'm pretty sure. The tracks are definitely there. I've seen them above as well, but I'm pretty sure. Okay, so on this left here, this is the old airfield boundary right now. So this is it. This is the airfield, and it's all starting to overgrow now, and they're just letting it go to waste. And you might just be able to see there's a track just on the left there, like a gravel track or something. Yeah, I've just seen a couple of people walking their dogs. So the tracks are definitely there. I just got a feeling, pretty sure they're saying no vehicles on this. But I tell you what, it is. I'll put the photos up for you, the aerial photos, and they're just off Google Earth. But you'll get an idea of what they're like, because really, it'd be a great place to ride around. I tell you. Not that I would ever do it, but it'd be a great place to come around at 4 o'clock in the morning, you know, just as the sun is coming up in the summertime, and quickly have a quick ride around where nobody's around. But I would never advocate that, because that would be still breaking the law, of course. But you know what I mean. So again, you know, all the signs for the Greenham Common, the common land, you know, this is where it gets a little bit interesting, really, because you're never quite sure, is it common or not common land? Well, if it's common land, then it's open to all commoners. In other words, that you can go through it because you are a commoner. You're not part of the you know, the empire, or you're not part of the royal family. So we are the subjects, so we are the commoners, and it's open to us. But it's only open to the areas at which they allow us to roam across, if you know what I mean. But oh god, that was a bit of a wobbly one. Right, let's get away from this van. I don't want you to see the back of this van the whole time I'm rolling around here. And some houses I've just seen, you know, tucked away in the trees here in the forest. Little private tracks going to them. They're beautiful little places, I tell you. Okay, never think they were there. There you go. Another cattle grid coming up. Marvellous. Another bone shaker. Here we go. Lovely. Close except for access. That'd be a nice track there to go up. I've just seen that. I'm quickly looking at my mapping. If I'm wobbling a little bit, that's because I'm looking at my mapping here. Okay, let's have a look here. Okay, so this is Greenham and Cookham area. This is one of the side gates entrances to the old airfield. So park closes at 8 PM. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. See what it is. So look, this is the old control tower. Look at that. Get a good view of that as I roll up to it. So right at the top, I'm not sure what they've done to it. Now, it all looks closed here, so they obviously haven't finished doing anything with it. Yeah, look, so they've closed off the route there, so you can't get through anyway. Let's go with it. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll have a little walk around and show you what it is. Okay, so off the bike now, and just off the bike, and you can see here's the control tower. So I'm pretty sure they were renovating that. Obviously not. So Imagine that. Probably open it up on the weekends, probably, when it is finally open. So, I'll just come around. So that's that's the entrance there. Then this whole area here is the old airfield, old Greenham Common airfield. So, I'll just show you. With that, you can see what it used to be like. Okay, so we're here right now, and this is the airfield. So right in front of us over here, such a shame, isn't it? Because look at this track, it's perfect. And this track goes all the way around. It's one big perimeter. It actually goes through right down the centre of the runway as well, or the old runway, I should say, because it's all been dug up now. That's it. I mean, if I just hold this up aloft, maybe you'll be able to get a better view of the area. And you see, it's just one big expanse now. If I look there, right in that distance, right in the far distance, you might be able to see some cuttings into a hillside where they're old bunkers, and that's where they filmed the Star Wars bit down there. Such a shame. Can't get through here. Be a great place to ride. Brilliant place to ride. Oh well. So, hope you've enjoyed this one, and catch you on the next one. Coming soon. Okay, cheers.